What's up, everybody? My name is Richard Terrell. I go by Kirby Kid, and you are watching DL Live. This is a daily stream show in which we talk about game design. A lot of the discussion and topics start on our Discord, which you can find on our Twitter, and otherwise we do these daily streams and I put them on our YouTube. That pretty much covers everything besides our website and our blog, but you can find out more about that later. We've been covering a series I call 20 years of Smash, and we're trying to get this whole thing done. I'm trying to say everything that I want to say about Smash in just 20 streams. Some streams are long, some streams are short, but we have 2 streams left, so I pretty much have to wrap up all these topics that I want to talk about. So we're going to get right into it, but the thing I actually haven't gotten to yet is talking about character-specific ideas and comments. So I got my topics here, which we can address later, but now I'm just going to pop around this list of characters and kind of address a few interesting things, lingering thoughts that I just kind of want to throw out there. But joining me today I have Steve, but he goes by, go ahead and tell
Yes. I go by the tag Prophet. I'm a DK and Captain Falcon player.
Cool. And, yeah, go ahead, give me your history a little bit.
Oh no, I've won one red line before.
Cool.
That's my credentials.
Cool. So right now we got Sonic and DK on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over so you guys can see, because forgetting to switch over to the stream view is just not fun for anybody. And we got a classics matchup here: Sonic versus DK, classic characters. So one of the things I wanted to talk about for Sonic is a lot of people, are annoyed by Sonic. And Sonic is certainly fast. Sonic certainly has his strengths, and it's pretty cool that he's been able to be so well represented in the Smash scene. But one of his most dangerous moves he has is this thing right here. It's the spin dash. And then after he releases the spin dash, he can jump, which is another hitbox, so one that collides into you and one that happens when he jumps. And then he can even cancel the jump, obviously, into attacks. So he's got quite a little variable approach, and this is kind of part of his bread and butter and what he does a lot. Like, he can start it in the air and like land and go to the ground and then follow it up with crazy stuff. So it's highly, highly versatile. Now here's the thing. Part of what makes Smash difficult is that it's really complex, and part of the reason that is because every move has frame data, and a lot of people, kind of understand frame data, but really, the frame data is just one part of many aspects of these moves that you have to kind of understand in order to develop counters. And for Sonic in particular, a lot of people have spent the last few years just swinging away at his speed and missing and getting run over, almost essentially. But here's something I kind of figured out, and we're going to see if Steve can do it just based on my instructions. So Sonic Spinball, like, we're playing online, there's lag, so don't worry about the absolute execution here. But essentially, Sonic Spinball there's only 2 things I can do. Go ahead and shield. If I don't jump, I have to go either stop in front of you and shield again, or go through you and like appear behind you. But if I go through you, look how long it takes for me to reverse directions and even jump out of that, right? So like I'll show you again. Reverse directions, I can't jump at any of those times until you saw me jump. So Sonic is pretty committed if he doesn't jump cancel this thing on the forward motion. So knowing that, I figured this is all you have to do to beat every single one of Sonic's spinball approaches. You shield on reaction, because you don't want him to just be doing that. It's like, you shield, and your shield's waning and waning. So on reaction, you shield, that's pretty good online. And if he jumps, all you want to do is, after the first impact, you wait like a 1/5 of a second or a 1/4 of a second, and then you release your shield and like jump attack. And no matter which combination of things Sonic does, whether he stops on your shield, whether he goes past you on the ground, or jumps, which is his usual option, you will have covered and successfully defended against all the combinations, except for one which is super, like, not dangerous to you. Like, if I do this, go ahead and shield, and I jump, and then I release a late spring. That spring does like a couple of percentage, and I can't really combo off of it, so nothing to worry about. So no matter what you do, opponent, Steve, Donkey Kong, Prophet, no matter what you do, you shield the first hit, you wait like just a 1/2 second, and then you do like any of your favorite jump aerials, and you can kind of take it from there. So all I'm going to do is to spin dash over and over, and we'll see how well you can defend it. Nice. You got that one. And you can see there's several opportunities where even if you want to jump out of your shield immediately or after the 1/4 of a second, you can see that based on Sonic's position, you don't have to actually follow it up with the aerial. You can just kind of empty jump and kind of see where Sonic is and just kind of play naturally after that point. The most important part is waiting that 1/4 of a second after the first impact. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, and I even tried to spring out of there. So, like, this is just a tiny optimization that just basically looks at how the moves work and be like, wait a minute. If he's so hard to understand how he mixes you up, just do a timing operation that kind of covers almost all of his most dangerous options. And because he's so committed, right, unless he lands in front of your shield or, like, cuts through you, yeah, he's in trouble. And, you know, there's all these sound-based reactions you can do because his little skid makes a very specific sound effect. And then everything makes a specific sound effect. So you're not completely blind even with this strategy, right? So this is just like a really handy way to defend against Sonic. The only other thing you need to do is just figure out what distance you need to stand in order for your reactions to be good enough to just not shield ahead of time. Just shield it on reaction. It might be harder online, but there's still a good distance you can do it. A little farther. A little early, but offline this is obviously much easier. I think the distance I figured offline is about right. It's surprisingly close. It's about here. Like, if you just react to the sound of his release, you can pretty much shield it at this distance, which is pretty cool because this is outside of most characters' attacking range, but within Sonic's rush range. Sonic Rush, haha. So this is like a really neat way to be like, hey guys, like, let's stop rolling around like crazy fighting Sonic. Let's stop, you know, attacking Ghost, and let's stop losing this matchup necessarily, and because we just have a simple optimization. This is, yeah, you can fight like normal while I continue talking. So this is just like one of many ways that I think Smash Brothers is really interesting, because, you know, understanding this setup just requires a sense of timing. It just requires a sense of sort of awareness and then reactions. And it's really less about ATs, and it's less about all these other sort of crazy topics people like to talk about when discussing Smash. And it's just about playing the game, putting your character in the right place at the right time. Cool. So let me see the next character I want to cover. So let's we'll one more stock because this is fun.
Okay.
No! And there's my stock. Okay, I think we have to. I can exit. I just run off and kill myself.
Yeah.
So the next thing I kind of want to talk about is Cloud's recovery. If you play a Cloud, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be the Cloud and you can be DK or whoever else you want to be.
Yeah, I can be Cloud if you want.
Okay, cool. You can be Cloud. So Cloud is pretty unique in this game. He's strong, obviously. He's really high tier, top tier even. But his recovery is still, I think, one of the worst in the games. He cannot, they just specifically program it to where he cannot tech against the side of the stage. And I'll be Mario because I like Mario. At the top of his up B, there's a tiny window. Well, let's go to a mega stage that has walls. I'm going to go to Mega Man. Maybe it'll be a little easier to demonstrate this. So at the top of his recovery move, his up special, what is it called? Climb hazard?
Climb hazard?
Cool.
Hold on, I accidentally left. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine. So at the top of his...
Mega
Man, yeah. At the top of his up B recovery, his climb hazard, he rises up and he has the option to like hit the button again and slam down. He can't really snap to the edge very well by slamming down, so most of his recovery, you know, even to the stage or below, is going to be just the up version. When he goes up at the before he snaps, because he doesn't have a good snap either. That's the two things you kind of want to understand about how bad Cloud's recovery is. He can't snap to the ledge, like a lot of other characters can. And he has a super vulnerability where even when he gets close, he can be kicked without the ability to tech and recover. So let's see. So let's see. You're at 0, but it should still work. Try to recover with your up special to the ledge.
Just like.
Yeah, so that situation, you can see how I could time the back air before he could even snap in the first place. Let me see. You can jump off the stage without grabbing the ledge, so we can show when the invincibility, or without. Stand on the stage and try to recover without grabbing the ledge first. Like
try to recover without grabbing the ledge?
Yeah, there you go. So you can see he kind of goes past the ledge if he doesn't sweet spot it and do it again. And you can notice when he starts glowing, yeah, he has to wait a little bit longer than most characters to do that. So there's a point in the meta where almost everyone at Edgeguard foolishly did this. Run off back air, right? And the reason that's foolish is because it's not like actually that bad of a move, spacing wise, but timing wise, most of the time your opponent's gonna snap to the ledge, and even when they don't, if you back air, they can tech and basically recover anyway. So this puts you in a bad situation where you're burning your double jump to get back and putting yourself on the ledge when your opponent's on the stage. This was worked out of the meta. It took like a year plus to get people to stop doing that. Then they just started like spiking, going for the vulnerability frames all the time, and now that's finally out of the meta. But Cloud is a character they specifically built so you can do your old bad habit and nobody's doing it. I find this so surprisingly infuriating. So just recover over and over, and I'll show. You can't recover after of that, and I can just reset it. I'm gonna try to redo it over and over. And you can react to the fact that Cloud up Bs, because a lot of things and situations in Smash are reactable. Oh, I almost had that. Yep. Yeah, so like Cloud, whenever you get him to the horizontal part of the stage or below, should be very in trouble. Like almost anything should be able to like fall and spike him or neutral air. Oh, you have no vulnerability right there. You have none here, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, so you could tech in that other situation, but you can't tech that, which is hilarious. And I could jab you off and then repeat. Oop, almost hit you. Oh, nice. Yeah, so this is like one of those, any specific difference in any of the characters can be the difference between developing like a very specific strategy to beat them or just trying to do your generic thing. And one of the things that the meta has had a hard time with is the sheer number of viable characters and the diversity of Smash 4. In one way, it's great to see people playing so many different characters. In another way, it's just like people are more hesitant to develop specific knowledge, like specific counterattacks, specific edge guarding, specific everything, right? And I think, in general in Smash, like we said in the other streams, players don't have a lot of strategies that require reactions. Like if Cloud, like let's see, what can you do? Forward air. Yeah, go ahead and jump forward air me. You can react to the fact that he pulls his sword behind his head and shield in time, especially offline. And if you can react to the fact that you're in danger and shield, that means with just a little practice, you can... a little practice. Wow. Timing's slightly off. Wow, I can't believe that's even hitting me. I'm trying to hit the shield button early. Go ahead. On offline, this would certainly be... Yeah, there we go. So, like, I'm so surprised that there's certain moves like Yoshi's forward air, Cloud's forward air, DK's forward air, other characters with slow back airs where people can't develop just a way to perfect shield and counterattack based on reaction. So when Cloud's facing you, there should be nothing you should be afraid of because almost all of his approaches are reactable from the air.
Are you gonna talk about when he snaps, when he uses the...
Which part about the snap?
When he uses it, when he's like beside the ledge, he will snap.
Oh yeah, so like even Cloud, like Mario can do this. Oh, hold on, this where you just up Bs and quickly snaps to the ledge. Like Mario can do that, Cloud cannot. So like they gave him a whole class of suboptimal recovery properties, and people, I mean obviously some people are exploiting it. There's some really good Rosalina edge guarding I saw at the last big tournament, and other characters know what they're doing, but for the most part people kind of chicken out too much. And his forward air again is reactable whether he's above the stage or behind. So like It's something you don't have to be afraid of because you can air dodge or do whatever else on reaction. And that's essentially a whole playstyle that's underutilized in Smash. Like, where can I stand to react? And then the only reason you would want to react to Cloud's forward air in this case is because you can get a strong counterattack. And grabbing, for most characters, is not a strong counterattack. But if you perfect shield F smash, which I'm trying to do, got hit in the face. Let's try again. Oh, wow, that was a huge impact. I can't believe Cloud covered fast enough to avoid it. But yeah, my S smash is 15 frames, not the fastest. But if I get the perfect shield, I should have just enough time to... There. Punish. And if you're going to get a free smash just by standing in the right place and reacting, that's certainly like a strong defensive to offensive proposition. And a lot of people would rather go on their movement and their general like conditioning based Smash Brothers play. And certainly that's worked for basically all the top players. But there's still more ways we can optimize. There's still a whole branch of playing Smash that we don't do well at all. And we won't if we put a lot of our energy into other things. It's something that definitely has to be practiced. And probably the reason why a lot of people don't do it is because the training mode is so not representative of what you're going to find in actual battles. So if people want to spend that much time specifically practicing something, they want it to actually work. Oh, nice wall stall. Yeah, even if he neutralizes, it starts off behind his head and then goes forward. So if you're approaching me, yeah, like you have to approach backwards. But if you're approaching backwards, I'm fearing the back air anyway. So I'm gonna be. There we go. Perfect shield down smash. Option select. That's fun. Not to mention the fact that people aren't using option select, but that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother thing. So let's see what other character I kind of wanted to talk about. Let's see. Oh, so like there's obviously combos that I've labbed for like Duck Hunt and Pac-Man, and just the fact that a lot of people think Pac-Man is a runaway character when I really think he's just a super complex mid-range high punishing character, but you have to have so much knowledge to pull that off. But let me see, what's something else people aren't doing that drives me nuts? Mewtwo is a similar way with Cloud. Mewtwo doesn't have a really good snap when he teleports, so unlike Zelda and unlike, there's not very many other teleporting characters actually, you can exploit Mewtwo's recovery the same way, like going out and attacking it, and he has to do other kind of crazy things to make up for that. Nice. Oh, you did the Z-axis step over my down tilt, which I hate. Not fun. That was close. Yay! Cloud. Okay, so let's see. Mega Man, Greninja, Sonic, Rosalina, Dr. Mario, Captain Charge, Robin S. Fox, Meta Knight. One thing I think about Kirby, so here's the thing about Kirby, Wario, Game & Watch, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Link, Princess Zelda. I kind of want to see how you can get out of certain Pac-Man combos, but it takes too much percentage finagling. So maybe I'll just go to Kirby. I'll play Kirby. Okay. Yay, Kirby. And you can play DK.
Alright. Are you going to teach me how to get out of a single down air, just spiking me into the ground?
I'm not sure. There is an escape for that.
No.
So Kirby is a character that he's hard to make good. he's a super simple character, and when he steals other people's specials, you know, that's really cool, but oftentimes it doesn't actually like push him over the top in how effective he is counterattacking. And because it's such a hard thing to make every special in the game also give Kirby a hat and use, I think they should have like upped the potency of all the specials he takes. So if you took Donkey Kong's, he'd be able to charge the fist faster, and should be able to shoot lasers faster, shoot fireballs faster, because Kirby kind of sucks otherwise. So Kirby's moves also don't look too special. He's like a small thing with just red shoes and weird puffy arms, and it's really hard to figure out how this character works because on the ground, not too fast. On the air, definitely not fast. When he jumps, he actually makes his hurtbox bigger, which is really annoying. So Kirby has issues, right? There's a couple of things I think Kirby can do that people aren't using at all, and one is this whole anti-air game, and again, it's based on reaction, which is probably why people aren't doing it. So let's say Donkey Kong, how would you stop me from doing, I probably should plug in my phone, that. How would you stop me from doing this? Or like, just try to punish me and I'll spam the move, let's see what happens.
Okay. What's the timing there? Can I roll into that? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't think that was true.
Especially when I face the wrong direction.
Little off.
Yeah, so like, the reason why this move is interesting is because it kind of goes ground to up to down, has a sword, and has a shockwave, so as Kirby moves backwards, it's putting even more distance between you and your opponent. So it's a pretty decent move. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it's pretty decent. Here's why I think this move is interesting. If you ever jump in the air, if I do it, you can't air dodge through it because the time it takes you to landing lag from the air dodge, Kirby comes back down and hits you. If you can't attack through it because it's a sword, I can move backwards on reaction for most ranges. So let's say your primary way of getting me involved jumping. Right when I see you jump, I can pretty much trap you, I think. As long as it's not a crazy short hop. But yeah, even with the short hop, just do your normal stuff. Oop. Oh, almost there. I can't believe that hammer is so unsafe on shield. That's one thing that needs to change in Smash. Make my move safer on shield. He blocked it. That's not miraculous. That's not skill. He just held the button. You can keep fighting.
I actually used the main Kirby Brawl, and I used to love the way that his hammer used to work.
Oh yeah, the floatiness of the air hammer.
Yeah, like you were still moving when the second hit.
Speaking of air hammer, try to shield grab this. This is something that I thought was kind of interesting. So if Kirby, oh, get your shield back. If Kirby slightly charges this and gets the flame, I think. Oh no! Wow, that's fun. That's fun. It should have enough shield knockback. Or to break the shield, and I'm trying to get
It doesn't have enough shield damage, for sure.
I'm trying to get the double hit. Where is it? I lied this. Where is it? Maybe I have to start on the ground. So I think if I do that, like start, jump, and then hit the top of your shield and hit the shield away, it either breaks it or pushes you far enough away that you can't defend it. And that's kind of cool. Like, that's a neat way to be like, stop shielding. But then most of the ways you counter things in Smash involves movement, so you could just like move away and like, then it's kind of dangerous for me to even use this in the first place. But once I get my max charge, then it's dangerous for you. I missed. So, okay, so let's go back to our jumping experience. Do full hops. Perfectly timed. And Kirby kind of barely recovers before the hit stun wears off, especially if it's a little higher in damage. So like a lot of times Kirby looks like he's open and vulnerable, but from this particular movie, but he's kind of not unless you're like a really fast character. And normally people just try to shield it, so you're like, go ahead, just shield it. That's fine. I just don't have to fight until like maximum distance is pretty safe for me, so I'd rather get that anyway. And then, so that's an interesting way to take one move, right? One move how it's designed on its very basic level, and say like, hey, this move's like a air trapping projectile neutral breaking because it's a sword move that kind of gives Kirby the ability to fight people with much bigger range and much more mobility in the air, to be like, this whole area, airspace is locked out, right? No! Oh, that should have been the double hammer. That'd been cool. Oh, he's gonna kick me. So like, a lot of moves in Smash 4, I think, are particularly designed to be like, this has a really good use. There's no other move like this in the game, actually, that can trap up and down and kind of cover it. Climb Hazard can trap, but it doesn't have a shockwave, and it's slower, and it's more dangerous, and it's not as good as recovering. So, like, Kirby has this really unique move. Oh, you died. I was going to show you how to use it with recovering like this, which is pretty cool, too. Like that. It's strong. It's one of the strongest spikes in the game. And if you're below the stage, like, I don't want to burn all your stocks, but pretend like you're below the stage for now. Get back, recover. If I scoop you up like, oh no, now you're dead. If I scoop you up like this and slightly hold down, it actually does that same hard spike, which is set. Like at 0, it goes that far down. So that means Kirby off the stage, he's dangerous with drill, he's dangerous with inhale, he's dangerous with up special. Like, this character should be doing better, but the way that people think he's played and the moves they go for are not, they don't complete his toolkit. He needs these specials and he needs to work like this. I know it's hard. Yes, I've played Kirby. It's hard. Yeah, the close shield, Kirby can't do anything about that, which is why I think it's important to use it when people are in the air. What's another? Okay, so yeah, we'll play another match because we need more stock with Kirby. Kirby's too cool, and Kirby can sing. So that's another weakness of Kirby's up B. If you hit the ground hit going down, people can standing and place tech it, and that's like, oh, sad. Ooh, you just wear. So many people go right for it. The inhale, like that would have sucked you up. See how interesting that is? I almost even clipped your fingers right there. Like that's like, oh, that's annoying. Like, yes, it should be effective. I don't think you have it. Yeah, you did it. So that's a cool like way of saying, hey, we're not talking about advanced techniques. We're not talking about hidden button combinations. We're not talking about like all these things. Basic use of the move, people can overlook for entire characters, and I think they've overlooked how Kirby's actually designed. I think they've overlooked the meta has overlooked how Pac-Man's designed. Duck Hunt players are actually coming really close to what I love about Duck Hunt and why I think he's good. So bravo to Raito and the other cool cats / dogs doing what they do. So here's the other interesting thing about Kirby. He has a pretty fast jab. I think it's frame 3, but he has one of the fastest jab 1 and jab 2 cooldowns in the game. So when he gets close to you, he can actually repeat a jab and have a high chance of like never getting shield grabbed, and then go low profile with his duck and not get shield grabbed. And he can basically weaken your shield at close range like no other character. He has a pretty crazy sort of vortex game among all of his different moves, like drill into the ground, to up tilt, to jump, re-drill or forward air, drag down, like all these things. So he's kind of like this crazy machine that you can try to run away from him all you want, but when he gets close, it's supposed to be bad news. That's not really how it's been working out. So check this out. Jab 1, you do your jab 1 and shield.
Oh, do you want me to shield or jab?
Or do you show us your jab 1 and then shield?
Oh.
That's jab 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. This is Kirby's, by comparison. It's just a little faster. And a little faster in this case is a big deal. So I can go up in the shield, and I can pretty much... I don't want the rapid jab. I want to repeat it. It's hard to do jab ones online. Wow, you're right. So I can repeated jab 1 and put on a unique kind of pressure that other characters can't do. And as soon as you get annoyed and try to show grab me, try to grab. Oh wow, Donkey Kong's grab scoops low because he's a monkey. Again.
Should I play Falcon?
Go ahead.
Falcon.
Yeah. I'll end this battle.
What?
Yeah, go to Falcon.
Falcon can't grab that. DK can.
That monkey. So think about it. If he can jab your shield and recover faster than you, or like mix up between jab 1 and jab 2, and then recover and repeat it, and then you're like, well, I don't like the situation, I want to get away, and then he can recover fast if he sees you roll away, chase you, or push you in a corner. If he can get in your face and low tilt over and over and you can't grab it, that means he can weaken your shield. So he's supposed to be this like really annoying sort of grappler, basically, that you can't deal with very easily. But as soon as Kirby starts playing like all the other characters, I think that's where he starts to weaken. So like try to grab that. So that's cool, right? So now shield grabbing, which is one of the most annoying things to get around. The reason why people don't like run up shield, oh, you can stop. The reason why people don't like run up shield in this game is because, you know, you can quickly collapse the space between you and an opponent, and you're trying to threaten basically a shield grab with some other response. So Kirby shouldn't have anything to worry about that shield grab. You can try shield grabbing all day. Wow.
Kind of like Jigglypuff and Melee.
Yeah. Try to shield grab it. So if I get close enough, yeah, like it just kind of puts pressure on. And then, yeah, see that up smash pushes your shield far enough away to where even if you want to shield grab this one, like do it, shield grab. That's a lot of slide. A lot of other smashes don't do that. Kirby's forward smash doesn't get that much slide, right? It's decent. So if shield grabbing is the thing you're most afraid of, there's all these different ways to play around it, including, yeah. Why couldn't I get this two-hitting hammer before? Like, it's super easy. What was happening? Oh, I was just missing. Okay. Okay, so like, I'm gonna show you the jab, and you can try to get around the jab pressure. Oop, it's kind of hard online, but that's fine. Yeah, you can try the jab, and I'm just randomly down tilted. And my jabs go really low, so they actually technically go under most jabs, and then I don't clash, I actually just beat people. And that's what happens, like your shield gets weaker and weaker, and then all of a sudden juke, and it's over, right? Like that's how Kirby's supposed to be, like this annoying, and then right when you're like, I'll jump to be Kirby, remember what we said? This is like the perfect anti-air trap, except for right there. Great. And then when he gets fast followers especially, he does like 40 to 60 damage combos without them being able to do much about it. Like Fox, people thought Kirby was a pretty good counter to Fox, and he's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So like, playing to these strengths requires a different mindset. It requires playing a different kind of Kirby. And then he has all this, right? Like, let's not forget, Kirby can kill you on the edge many different ways. So Kirby's supposed to be scary on the stage because you can't quite get him. Air to ground, when the other opponent's in the air, he's kind of scary. And then right when he runs up in his shield, you can't get him. Then when you edge guard, you can't get him. Like, that's what Kirby's supposed to be good at. Why isn't it working out? That's like the whole on paper design versus in practice. But again, in practice, it may not be the fault of the design. It could just be trends or just an idea somebody had. The reason I couldn't play Kirby well in Brawl is because I had too many melee ideas. So like that held me back. Yay, Kirby, lightweight. So that's like a basic cool thing I want to talk about with Kirby. Like a lot of the moves in Smash are pretty good on their own, but the way that the meta trended, getting around shields was a little annoying, and it kind of put people into bad habits. But yeah, like what's the most dangerous thing you can do to me if you shield my attack, right?
If I shield your attack?
Yeah, like how...
I would down tilt if I try to hit you. Like, because I know you might shrink, so I just down tilt.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So like that's not too dangerous. Down tilt's a pretty good move for edge guarding, but in general, this is the whole footsie style of Smash 4 that I think is actually built into the game. It's just not prominent in our meta, and there's not a lot of feedback to help people key in on these key play styles, right? So like using your ground moves and like instead of dash grabbing all the time, if people run up and shield, you got like a really decent counter for that. And then when people jump in the air, you're like, ooh, nice. Your speed's incredible. Oh wow. Dang. People are supposed to be like, okay, so here's the thing. If I aerial you like this, get closer, you can get closer. My aerial, it pushes your shield back, but in a lot of times you can still punish that because Kirby's back air landing pretty laggy, but not too laggy, right? Like, what else can you attempt to punish that with? Dash grab? Will that work? F tilt doesn't work.
A little too slow. Oh, my shield's about to break.
Maybe an up smash out of shield if I'm too close. Try it. Oh, hold on. I'll break it. Break your. What? If you break your shield, you get like a decent one coming back, but you know it's too late.
Okay.
Okay, so now try shielding and up smashing. You shield grab.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so like Kirby's move is fairly safe landing. His neutral air is even safer. Like you can't do if it actually comes out, you can't do anything about this. It's like +2. It can even beat shield grabs if I do it right. I think. Let me see if the frame data works out. Like that. See that? Try to shield grab this. Oop, not low enough. Yeah, that even beats shield grabs, right? That's like kind of like L cancel melee speed pressure that people think they want, but it's like in Smash. It's just on different characters and at different setups. So if you put it all together, if you want to get advantages in Smash and somebody has like a decent anti-air and decent ground, like Kirby's supposed to be a really great footsies character. He chases you down, he makes you miserable, he weakens you over time, goes for big damage hits like freaking this hammer, right? It can kill at like 10. It's so strong. One of the strongest moves in the game. So you don't want to break your shield against Kirby. So if you just think all of what he's doing, like jumping around your shield is annoying, and then he just goes into some jabs and like crouches your grabs and then jabs you. Oh, nice. Yeah, I pulled back. So like this was supposed to be part of the footsies for Smash. Like, oh, when I drop my shield, I know I can't hit him, but maybe I can use a move that kind of takes a little bit of extra time and stop him from attacking me. So so I'll do it again. I'm going to neutral air your shield and jab, but you drop shield and up tilt. Oop, I missed. I'm so bad at that. I'm so bad.
I mean, my up tilt's pretty slow.
So the plan is you're trying to go over my jab with your like different animation, and then crash down on me with the perfect spacing. And it's supposed to be an example of like when you know your opponent has an advantage and you don't want to just do the obvious thing to fall for it. What else can you do? My jabs are actually pretty freaking long. That's pretty crazy. I'll try by fading away then. So like hold on, I can't fade that close. And then you go immediately into up tilt, and that would obviously beat the my jabs that are missing. So let's say we're fighting, then I get that, and yeah. So that's supposed to be like, oh, if you do this, I do that. If I do that, you do this, and then it's a whole sort of dance of different combinations of how these moves fit together and what's the risk reward. But for the most part, you see some of it. Like Sheiks do a little bit of it. A lot of players are drop shielding, jabbing, tilting, down tilting, Bayos, especially. It's happening, but it's just not like very clear what's happening to a lot of players and spectators, and it's not so exciting. So I definitely think changing a few things about Smash will make a lot of these aspects. These are my favorite aspects of Smash, by the way. Like simple moves, complex applications, and interesting back and forth. Not like I don't like dash dancing that much, and I don't like erratic movement. I like smooth movement and interesting placement, right? Like that's what I love. So that's just my little run through of Kirby and the kinds of things that I want people to understand. There's basically none of these characters have been tapped out fully. There's all these little things. A lot of the high tier characters are pretty close, like Diddy. He's got some pretty crazy Diddy stuff out there, and so on and so forth. But I think that's about it. Steve, you have any questions, or you wanted me to demonstrate anything for the viewers? Or
I think it's you could talk about Pikachu in this manner as well. Captain Falcon struggles a lot against Pikachu's, I call it pancaking.
Okay. Yeah.
Move, he ends up being very flat.
Yeah.
So just like that, if Pikachu lands against Falcon with back air, then Captain Falcon can't shield grab it. Not because he's too far away, but just because his body is too low.
Definitely, that kind of stuff's interesting. There's also stuff like this. Try to shield grab me. Wait, shield now. I'll give you an easy way to test. I'm going to forward air and then up smash, and you try to shield grab before the up smash. That little animation right here where Kirby charges can actually duck some shield grabs, so I'm going to try to... It's not easy, and it's not exactly like built for this, so maybe it's not going to work because it looks like your grab kind of scoops. Yeah, it's not going to work. But taller characters or whatever, it's like, oh, I'll just charge the smash to low profile your attack. Or let's say you're trying to jump up air me, right?
Yeah, that is very hard. I've been trying to do that all the time.
And normally Kirby's short. I just duck that one, but if I charge an up smash, it's another way to get even shorter and immediately respond to an attack. So there's all these cool, like, find out how your moves puzzle piece fit into this sort of dynamic timing puzzle. And that's one of my favorite aspects of footsies. People do it in Smash. It's just, again, it's about how much focus does it get and how prominent is it, and how do people believe in these counters. Nice. Here's another one of my favorite ways to cross up a shield grab. Try to shield grab this. Let's see. Oh, yeah, stand up. Oh, can't do it. You just reverse the forward air, and it scoops you right at the end, right across it. Just super fun. So then, like, if people are beating shield grabs a lot with spacing and timing and clever move combinations, people are supposed to learn how to drop shield and do other things. Shield drop is only 7 frames, people. That's not even long. Up smash is hit in frame 9. That means if you drop your shield and jab, if you have a 2-frame jab, it's the same timing as doing an out of shield up smash. But a lot of people don't think about the frame data like that. A lot of people aren't considering the options. And I just watched a tournament match. They just like playing too loose, right? Like play with some specific knowledge. Like put that data in your head. That's what I want. And if Smash probably has to change a few things to get players to understand like advantage, disadvantage, advantage. Maybe even the announcer could say something cool. Yeah, so that's everything I wanted to cover.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. I hope I was of use.
Yeah, thanks for joining me, Steve. You actually demonstrated a lot of things really well. So, and you had good questions and good comments. So I'm gonna just continue streaming and talking about other topics, but my time playing the Wii U for now is over. So thanks for joining, Steve.
No problem. Having a very nice day.
Later.
Later.
Yay, I got to demonstrate defensive things in Smash and talk about footsies. Yay. So let's go back to the topic here. Let's see all the cool things we covered. I guess I covered a little bit of what I want to talk about with Kirby, which is fine. I covered a little bit about what I want to talk about with Sonic and defending him and how like a universal defense is there, but people don't want to do it. Talked a little bit about Cloud and so on and so forth, right? So that's cool. That's fine by me. Every character has neat things, but it just be me talking about their design space. And right now we're not going over their design space. That's like a whole different topic, and I don't really need to talk about it. I just want to tell you that it's really neat. And we can go back over here and just kind of scroll down the list. Sakurai designs like me. Basically, I design like Sakurai. But we think similarly. His whole idea of assembly and disassembly, which he's talked about in some of his interviews, where he takes, basically, he's so smart that he takes a game, breaks it down to all of its really core components, and then changes some aspect of it, and then reassembles it to achieve a similar effect, like a similar level of excitement or versatility or balance or whatever. And he calls that disassembly and reassembly. I need some light. Hold on. We're back. So yeah, he calls that disassembly and reassembly, and it's really cool. there's not a lot of people that can really understand other people's design. They take some of the surface and superficial elements, but they really don't know how to dig deep, which kind of transitions us, I guess, somewhat to Smash clones. Platform fighter is now a phrase because there's many quote-unquote platform fighters. Let me see if I can just do a Google search. All the platform fighters. Let's see. And you could think like mini games, like in Yoshi's Island, where two Yoshis are kind of going at it. Some of the weird Mega Man versus Bass Bass mini games were also like platform fighters, and really just the essence of jumping around in the space and having that freedom of movement instead of being locked into like a duel, left and right style. So obviously Super Smash Brothers, Icons coming out, being developed by an old Smash buddy of mine, Matt Scav, Fairchild, leading this entire project and doing really well. Never heard of some of these games, but obviously Go All Out, Nice Super Knockoff. People just now all of a sudden have this template to make basically Smash style games, and they put their own spin on it. Brawl Out I haven't played, Rivals of Aether I own. One of my favorite parts about Rivals is the lingering status effects, which I think is a really neat idea. It's just saying like every character in that game has like an elemental affinity, and they can do things with those elementals that have lingering effects on the field, whether it's like creating wind, creating a puddle of water, creating fire, creating slippery ice. That's really cool. Some of them don't interact with other people, but most of them do, so it's just really cool to see how building your offense and defense involves understanding where to put these elements and then how to use them. I've never heard of some of these games, but that's alright. Kung Fu Panda, Indie Game Battle. I've heard of that a little. That one's weird. I think this is one where you like constantly... No, wait, I haven't heard of that one. One Piece Super Grand Battle, Smash, Kirby Fighters Deluxe. Oh man, so this is... I want to pick on Kirby. Because instead of picking on indie devs, I'm going to pick on Nintendo because they can take it. This game sucks. I only played the mini game that was kind of attached to the, what is it, Triple Deluxe? Hey, Triple Deluxe, yeah. But they took all the Kirby moves from the normal game, which are neat in and of themselves, kind of slow, kind of single-player designed, right? You're beating up really slow, dumb, predictable enemies. Then they make players fight in an arena using those same abilities. It just doesn't work. When you make multiplayer, you got to make multiplayer, and there's so much more stress and scrutiny on the design that you just can't get if you just like add more players in and just let them have at it. So, you know, my rule of thumb is always, if you want to make a game that can do single and multiplayer, design the game for multiplayer first, and then let that depth and let that those experiences help you design your single player, right? I think Kid Icarus Uprising is a great example of that. Even if it wasn't designed in that order, like, oh, this is deep enough to be a multiplayer game, and it had a multiplayer mode, so you're like, go figure. This game is not, so buy Kirby. There's Kirby Triple Deluxe. Apparently, in Towerfall, something they call it a platform fighting game. It might as well, but this is really projectile focused. And Towerfall took basically wave dashing from Smash Melee. Icons took wave dashing, and their company is called Wave Dash, so yes, it's not a secret. Rivals of Aether took wave dashing. I'm not sure if Brawl Out has it. Lethal League. See, this is a super original style, like quote-unquote fighting game, and they call it a platform fighter. There's like no platforms. There's no. You're just in an empty box of a room. That's so funny though. If your character's jumping around somewhat freely, you call it a platform fighter. You're like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind having all these cousins and half cousins in my genre. Naruto something. There's Jump Superstars for the DS, which I love. Cool game. Naruto trying to take over. Lots of games I haven't heard of. Wow, Naruto, calm down. Is this in a timeline? Hey, Jump Ultimate Stars. Yeah, November 23rd, 2006. This game has so many cool characters. I mean, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but being able to, like, kill your opponents with a health-based system. It's like stamina mode in Smash. You can ring them out or you can drop their health. That's basically what this game has. You can bust open the walls of the manga panel that you're fighting in and then throw them out and they die. Like, you can build your deck of multiple fighters, kind of like Kid Icarus Uprising's power system, and it's kind of like something else that slipped my mind, but very, very original game. So this is very, they really did a neat thing because all the characters don't have that many moves. And you can block, but you only have one block breaking attack. You have no grab. But, you know, you try to manage your meter, you try to manage your assist types, which is very Marvel-esque. And you can customize your deck to be like one main character, or have a bunch of assist types, or two main characters and one little assist type, or maybe three main characters and you barely fit them in, but they're a little weaker because they're all sharing the same limited space. That game did kind of a Skullgirls in that way, and I think that's a neat idea. Power Stone, kind of a party game, not really designed to be a fighter. Beautiful Joe, Red Hot Rumble, I heard people hate it, but that's alright. Yeah, I play Jump Superstars. I own Ultimate Stars. I just play Superstars more. I bet they're not going to have Draglade on here. Come on, Draglade for the DS. Where are you? Because it had platforms. But anyway, the platform fighter is a big genre. Obviously, all these cousins and friends are joining in, so like everyone can have fun. What was I saying? Kill you. Nope, not that. So we can talk about like what these games did differently. You know, finding your own mark. You have to have more creativity than just like, let's take X game and just change out the character how they look because we'll get sued otherwise. You have to have more opinions and thoughts about how the design works than that in order for me to consider you to be a real designer. A lot of people out there, for better and for worse, are just remixing ideas and just changing the flavor of things without addressing any of the underlying issues, which says two things to me. One, do you even love the original things you're being inspired by enough to find the issues? Do you even have, like, it's great if it's your favorite game of all time, but you can have issues with it. It's okay. Did you even dig deep enough? And two, if you didn't dig deep enough, do you even have the understanding to the level to which to make a game of that type, right? And a lot of people try making a game and they realize they don't because the game kind of stinks. So that's just life, right? Like, that's half of why we create things, to see if we can do it, not to try to become the next best, greatest thing ever. So, I think some of the games that a lot of people don't think about, like Jump Superstars, are really cool versions of the Smash formula that really did a lot of their own thing. I think Rivals of Aether did a little bit of their own thing, but I like the changes that they made and some of the quality of life features, like the character select screen and stuff like that. But ultimately, I don't like the dash dancing, wave dashing, hyper focus that so many players, so many developers have glommed onto. I don't think they understand, for the most part, like the diversity of the design space that you will squish if you make your base movement so erratic like that. But you know, if you like it, you like it, so make whatever you like. But there's going to be challenges because of those decisions. I don't like the way it looks on the screen. I don't like the way it plays. I think it's a little hyperactive and kind of nonsensical. So I always stray away from dash dancing, and I don't even like wave dashing, right? It's cool in Melee. So that's the thing. It's cool enough in Melee, despite all the ways that it either balanced or imbalanced certain matchups. That's fine. But and it's cool that people can be inspired by things. But man, again, the degree to which you copy something kind of shows the degree to which you understand it in the first place. If you copy all like 100 different details that make wave dashing what it is in Melee, then you've done your research. But if you just like try to get it to work and you don't even know what you're doing, and you just have this like sloppy tin surface details kind of approach to it, then I mean, how's that gonna impress me? I don't know. So I'm not too impressed by a lot of Smash clones. I don't even think Brawlhalla is a fighting game. And from the sound of it from the developers, they just kind of started off as a very different kind of game. People took it seriously, so then they had to try to inject quote-unquote depth into it, and that's, again, a whole different kind of design problem. I don't think PM's a Smash game. It's just Crazy Fans impressively modding a game. Super impressive job there, but definitely not a Smash game, and definitely just shows an extreme example of taking just a very narrow, small aspect of something and trying to blow it up into a huge sort of scope and scape that it's beyond the confines of that idea, right? Like, you just can't make a whole game of people who move like that and basically play like Fox in order for them to retain a lot of their unique style, movement, and moves or whatever. You're just gonna, it's like a race to the top where everyone's fast and everyone's powerful and everyone can combo, and that's kind of what PM was. So as interesting as it was as an experiment of clashing ideals and trying to get different styles to merge, it's not a Smash game. There's only 4 Smash games, 5 if you count Smash 3DS. That's it. Let's see. So friend Adrian asks, what does Smash 4, what does it do better than Melee for me? Smash 4 is my favorite Smash game. Smash 64 is my favorite. Smash Melee was my favorite. Smash Brawl was my favorite when it came out. Now Smash 4. It's actually trending very accurately and very carefully in the direction of all the stuff I like. Like, I've been explaining it for many streams. Like the footsie style that you see. Yes, it's there in all the Smashes, but the degree to which it's there, the degree to which it's viable, and how many characters can do it, and the degree to which the game makes the characters and fleshes them out in a way to where they retain their unique style and still are able to compete in this really sort of super dynamic platform fighter, multi-layered way. Like, that's what I love. And again, Smash Brawl. So like Smash Melee was really cool for basically being a super improved Smash 64, and you got a lot of cool tech, but just in general, the game, being able to tech on walls, being able to DI better, like all that's really cool. Being able to just move faster, and how Z canceling in Smash 64, it's too strong. So the fact that they made it half your landing lag instead of all, that's probably a move in the right direction, right? It's better. And we dug deep in Melee for the first time because we didn't have enough time to dig deep in 64, and we discovered that not only we had to discover what Smash was, and also what our community was, and also what fighting games were, because a lot of us didn't come from fighting game background. So a lot of things and qualities that people attribute to Melee, like Melee Assist, is actually fighting games are this, and welcoming, active, passionate communities are this, and games that are played for a long time naturally have these qualities. And it's not that Melee in particular has these very specific elements that make it possible to do that above the other Smashes. It's just like it's old, and we can see the history pretty clearly. But beyond that, I think what Brawl did, which I loved, is reduce the concentration in the shuffle zone, because L canceling wasn't a thing, and certain moves had more landing lag, but certain moves had less. Like, you get to sort of create your stances and pick and choose and do full jumps, and you're not so trapped in the air every time you go in the air, because Kirby v. Marth in Melee was just depressingly sad. Marth has a bigger sword, faster mobility, and the faster ability to recover underneath you as you're trying to land. Then where are you supposed to go? And it's not just a Kirby problem, because Kirby's pretty bad in that game, but he does that to a lot of characters, and it just seems kind of like, do we really want to make this the bottleneck for the gameplay? So the air dodging system was a welcome change, but then the lack of landing lag from Brawl's air dodge was terrible. Oh my gosh. But Brawl introduced a lot of cool new things. The fact that bodies flew and hit each other was odd. Makes kind of sense, but then took us a long time to get used to it, and we quickly got unused to it when Smash 4 came out. But the thing that I really liked about Brawl was it introduced more of these footsie style and alternative play styles that I liked in Melee. Like, I like Samus's footsie style. I like her range game. And, Ice Climbers and Luigi are pretty cool with their wave dash, as long as they're not freaking wobbling you or being annoying. And I like the characters when they look and play differently based on just really sort of simple, easily discernible things like their jump height and their fall speed and stuff like that. What Brawl did was saying, hey, let's expand on this. Like, now Wario has a bike, and more characters have unique ways to move than ever. Sonic is fast, but he springs straight up, or he runs straight horizontal, or he has a hard time otherwise sort of carving out of space because of his air DI. His air control is kind of weird. Sonic's homing attack does all these really neat things, and it's just really cool. Let me see if I have GIFs gifs there of those because I want to show you what I'm talking about. Another thing that Brawl did was more character types. Olimar and his chip away ranged short stature, like he could do some neat things that was those archetypes and those character types are not in Melee at all. So like expanding the realm of creativity was really cool. Xerastu Samus and the pieces and having that only at the start of the match, stuff like that's cool. The way Samus controlled things that have paralyzer attacks, like that's really neat. Smash gifts. So, Olimar versus Snake, super cool too, right? Throwing and attacking very specific parts and competing. So let me see if I have any. Yeah, I do have some gifts of Brawl. Let's see if I can show some of these. Do they even play? 1 second. Okay, they do. So let me just see if there's a good way to do this. Whatever. So let's just Team Synergy right here. And let me see if I can zoom in. So this is cool. This is one of the cool moments. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's actually, I zoomed in, but is it making it bigger on the stream? Zoom in. Well, as far as you can do. So the Meta Knight on the right side, with ADHD as his red partner underneath, have such good team synergy that they're able to, one's gliding on top, Diddy's calmly walking beneath them, and then they skip the first Wario that they have to fight entirely to go after the second one, and they immediately simultaneous attack on two different fronts, and they don't hurt each other. Like, that's crazy. Gliding is so cool in Brawl, that movement. Like, you want to talk about like random movement things in Melee? Every Smash has its own unique ways of doing things. Some have whole features that are there, some have shared features, but gliding certainly in Brawl, I loved gliding. I played Pit, and I loved it. Kind of broken, or maybe just Meta Knight was broken, because it certainly wasn't broken in Charizard, certainly wasn't broken with Pit, and there's only 3 gliding characters in the game. But that is super cool. Let's see something right here. So fighting the Ice Climbers, as terrifying and as annoying as it is, it's pretty cool as long as they don't wobble you. Separating them and double attacking them and getting these weird hits. Like, look, Diddy having 2 bananas, throws it, trips Nana, grabs another banana, puts the second one back in the field, fakes out a kick, throws it behind Nana, monkey grabs when they shield, and he's just separating them very meticulously. This kind of interplay, this kind of gameplay, it's not in Melee because there's not Diddy, basically. But the way Diddy moves, the way he controls space, the way he can attack this wall monster of an Ice Climber character, like, this is the kind of cool stuff that I loved about the game. He just has a monkey flip, which in itself is a unique type of movement. There's more unique movement built into moves in Smash Brawl, and that started the trend, something that I really like. Hopefully you can see that kind of. This is my Olimar versus Snake thing I was talking about. So this is a cool purple, red. I can't believe Olimar had 6 Pikmin. It's so crazy. Oh, it's so crazy. So this is a cool example of close range, long range, and how these dynamic characters work. Almost breaks Olimar's shield, backs out, purple, shield, perfect shield, gets a red on him, throws a grenade, clashes it with a Pikmin, throws another grenade, clashes with a Pikmin, and then throws another Pikmin and clashes with the grenade that's hanging in the midair. And all the while it's happening, like, they're just negotiating all their pros and cons. And this is just really unique stuff. Like, this isn't in a lot of other games, flat out, period. Like I know other fighters get kind of crazy, like Marvel and Guilty Gear, but essentially, like, having 6 projectiles that have AI that move on their own and like fighting through a storm of them while clashing it with your own super broken projectiles, Snake's grenades, like, and then timing things to where the Pikmin get back to you, they don't run off and kill themselves, even though the purples just killed themselves. Like, that's cool. This is what I love about Brawl, and this has nothing to do with the air dodge system, has nothing to do with the invincible ledge grabbing. This is the best parts about the game. And if you're a Melee fan and you can generally like focus on the best parts of the experience for you, which is like the really cool matchups and the high level play with the top 6 or so characters, then likewise, players like me, Brawl fans, can look at this and be like, this is what I want more of. Can I get more of this? The answer is, if you go back in time, you can't. So like, I keep moving forward and looking forward to more stuff like this. This is Esam. This is so cool. So he got the kill by he gets hit away, uses 2 Thunder Jolts. One hits on the stage, one hits Meta Knight. Hits one deep into the stage, quick attacks, races past it, and then has the Thunder Jolt hit Meta Knight in the face while Pikachu hits Meta Knight from behind and kills him. Look at this. Thunder Jolt, race past it. You tried to do a Mach Tornado, you die. Like, that is super cool. It's the kind of stuff I love. Like, just where are you going to place your projectiles and what does that mean for your offense? It's not crazy L canceling, shield pressure. It's not float canceling. It's not even auto canceling in this case. It's just using the moves and moving. And building more unique movement into character-specific moves is probably another really easy way to say what I love about Smash 4 and what I love about Brawl over Melee. Having the Melee's dominant moveset dominated by, like, basically the Wave Dash, the Short Hop, and the Wave Landing and Dash Dancing makes less room for this to be either present or relevant because those things are so strong. I'd rather see more character-specific stuff like this. So even though like Brawl, like you have no combos and no pressure, look at some of the pressure you can still gain. It really feels like you are threading the needle and building something out of nothing. And people want a little bit more security. People don't want to need to make reads all the time. But look at this: grab, down throw, neutral air, reads the forward air, shield grab, perfect shield grab, down throw, forward air, up airs him just to freaking annoy him on this platform. Drops down, reads the air dodge, and goes into an up throw thunder. Look at this: one tick, read, down smash into a thunder. That's crazy. This is what I call soft pressure, and one of the aspects that I liked about Third Strike was it's a footsies game, and one of the reasons why Third Strike has such good footsies is because a lot of the attacks don't lead into freaking like long string combos. A lot of your jabs and stuff are only jabs, and they only have like a short like follow through after that. A lot of your medium risk gives you medium rewards, not low risk to high rewards like Street Fighter 4's jabs can link into all your powerful stuff. So when you're in there and you just kind of want to risk something mediumly, you can, and not worry about dying or not worrying about getting retaliated so hard that it's not even worth it. And I think Smash 4's current ground game, like I was showing you before, the pieces are there, but there's not enough incentive to go after it at this point, and that's probably why a lot of people didn't. So certainly I don't want my game to be so loose as Brawl, where it's just like you have to make a read on a read on a read on a read, and even when you do, like, it's not really even guarantee that your follow-ups will be effective. But when it happens and it works like this is what I wanted more of when Smash 4 was announced, and I got it because that's why Smash 4 is my favorite. Here's another example: Esan just being cool. Text the down throw down and shields in time and blocks. I don't know why I say that gif, but here's another gif called "This is Brawl." Oh, this is so funny. ADHD versus Leap of Faith Z? What was his name? Look how many bananas on the field. They double banana themselves like 3 times. So funny. So anybody can pick up the banana. When you pick it up, it's yours. So both DDs are doing their routine, throwing a banana. And DD's like, you're going to throw a banana? I'll throw a banana. You throw a banana? I'll throw. And they both trip. And you're like, you throw it, and they both trip. And they go for it again. The shield, banana, perfect shield, banana. And then ADHD ultimately gets the advantage. That's crazy. There's nothing like this in Melee. When I see stuff like this, I'm like, this is uniquely Brawl, and it still is uniquely Brawl because Diddy only has 1 banana in the new Smash, so you're never going to get something like this again. It's too bad. Some cool Melee edge guard. Yeah, I think it's Armada. I'm just going to guess. This is what I love about edgeguarding in Melee, how complex it can be and how like you're hitting people with, again, soft pressure, and you're not fully comboing them, but you're just like putting them in really awkward, bad situations. It's one of the best aspects about Smash, and it comes about just from moves interacting very simply, like up B's having hitboxes, Peach being able to throw a projectile, Peach being able to float. Like, it's just all super tight. Like, it's all in there. You don't need ATs for this because this is super deep in and of itself. That's why when I worked on my own fighting game with Noah and my brother, we released it for Sports Friends. I trended towards more air battles, so we gave the character 7 jumps. It sounds kind of crazy, but it actually works. I created a clashing system. We created a clashing system because it's really cool. Clashing is a really neat way to engage in tight spaces and have really interesting ways to get in and out of those spaces without having to air dodge. We do have an air dodge. Without having to do this extreme movement. And definitely just moving closer and closer to the stuff I like. So Falco being annoying in Brawl. This is Falco putting pressure on Marth and just being really tight, just controlling the space really tight. Can't believe Marth could chain grab into a spike in Brawl. Like, there's still crazy stuff in Brawl. It's just harder to pull off, and not for all the characters, or one character can't do it to most of the cast. And Falco was playing tight, like barely getting around, but that air dodge, right? That air dodge, and it netted Martha a kill. But that was a cool Mewtwo King-esque, using Dancing Blade off the stage, melee-esque. Oh, this is Mechos versus Gluttony, and the play around this tire, again, the item play in Brawl, like, because in Brawl you can pick up items by attacking, you can basically keep your pressure going while manipulating the field and deactivating and reactivating the threat of these items. Look how cool this is. Throw, bounce off, kick, catch a thingy, catch, pressure, hit, pressure, hit, grab you. Because he tried to throw a tire right in the end, but the tire throw is slow. Look how slow Lucas's tire throw is. So Lucas right now is at a disadvantage because he has an item in his hand. You can't get that item out of your hand, Lucas. Look at that. That's crazy. Soft pressure again, but like it's a full jump, a full hop initiated, and then it's just really unique full jumping and low jumping pressure with just 2 hits. Like, Wario's all over the place with this movement right there. That's pretty cool. Too bad Wario's annoying. Oh, this is one of my favorite Smash 4 moments. This is Ryo, and then he jabs Peach and says, hey, turn forward, so you want to shield grab. And this is exactly what I was trying to show you early in the stream. And then he uses that lean forward that Ike does when he up smashes to dodge the shield grab, and then the backwards hit of it kills Peach. So clean. It's so good. That's the setup. I want more of that. I want more incentive for players to figure out those things for themselves and stay on the ground and quit jumping all the time. Oh, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Like, he throws the top to stop Sonic from spinning, shoots him so he awkwardly lands in between, defends him, hits him back into the top, and hits him with the laser. This is just a really cool way of just saying, like, this whole space is ours to play in. This is Brawl, by the way. And I like the Brawl background better. I like this Shining Sea. I think I like it better. You know, I have random opinions about the way things look. Hey, I didn't realize I made this many GIFs. This is an example of an air battle. So, like, 2 characters go up, one attacks out of hit stone, one misses, one air dodges through, one tries to attack, one air dodges, one kicks and lands them on the ground. Like, that doesn't really happen in Melee. A lot of the top characters are in combos because they're kind of fast volley, and you don't have such an intricate air dodge system and attack out of hit stone system. So this is pretty unique to Brawl right here. Floating down and attacking and attacking and attacking. Pretty unique to Brawl. Oh, this is some funny tech. So when your opponent takes your banana and throws it on the ground, there's a tech where you run into it and up B, and that just enough to get Diddy's barrels to launch crazy, right? Because if you hit Diddy out of his barrels, they go crazy. So this green Diddy uses that aggressively, comes down, throws the red Diddy. He's like, oh, you put a banana on the ground? Let me just shoot a projectile. It's random, but look how funnily it works itself back into play, and it totally looked like he was controlling it like Snake's Nikita. It's totally random. So funny. It has a mind of its own. This is so Smash, by the way. Soft edge guard into a crazy random thing that you initiated. So Smash. This is another great example of Day-to-Day versus Pika. Going off the stage, attacking, Day-to-Day being able to use multiple soft attacks and then chase the action on and off the stage and let the recoveries keep chaining things. Like, this is kind of beautiful right here. So he goes off and Pikachu tries to attack. Air dodge that. Kick. I know you're going back to stage. Lands. Soft combo because Pikachu attacked out of the hit stun into a back air because it lingers. Just shut off the direct to stage. And that's just super cool. I wanted more of this in Smash 4. This is basically what I got without the annoying edge and super safe air dodge. Wow, how many gifts do I have? A lot. Well, we're going to go over them. This is my stream. Oh, this is an example of Salem's movement. It's so crazy. So B reversing is a beautiful new thing. I'm so glad it's in Smash 4. I don't think anybody confirmed it. No, they did confirm it in Smash Ultimate because I saw Snake doing it. It just seems like a thing that they want to keep in. It's been 3 Smashes so far. but wave bouncing and B reversing and footstooling off of people's heads, and then the quick way that Samus can get off the ledge from a grapple, and then back and forth with her spry jump or flip kick or whatever. Like, look at how hard this Meta Knight can't even track his movements, and he's not even invulnerable for most of it. He's just crazy, like unpredictable. Like, I know I said he didn't like erratic movement, but this is a rare case. This is just like him styling. This is not. It's not super viable, but when you're in your opponent's head, you can do whatever you want. I just love that. Where this one? Oh, this is a cool team combo that this team organized. Yeah, finish that Meta Knight off with one down smash to a spike into a lock into a Blazer into a B is crazy. Locking in Brawl was terrible because you could lock them all the way to the end of the stage and even reverse it in some cases and keep them locked. 3 limit is a pretty good thing they added for Smash 4. It might be changed for Smash Ultimate, but I thought the 3 limit was really good. Oh, the Diddy Infinite, I forgot! Oh, and he messed it up, but he chained into it. Oh, that is so cool. So, like, getting this one and going, oh shoot, Footstool got another one, and then reads his stand up or whatever, Footstools him again, maybe he didn't have a choice. It's just a really cool way to be like, oh, sometimes when you're given like a lot of loose opportunities, controlling it's just like really satisfying because you're like, I have a 80% chance or a 20% chance of success, 40%, 60, 80, and you're like 100, and like that's pretty cool. A lot of other combos in other games start off with 100. Once I hit this, I know I can do this, and I just don't need to mess up. But Smash is different. Smash is different. It's so annoying, Meta Knight. You're so annoying. Oh, wow. So, yeah, let's just look at the red team get demolished. So Meta Knight tried to take Rob up on the top right with a Nocturnator combo, so Rob retaliates, and then they collectively hit them, and then that laser across the stage hit Snake just right to make him like all awkward and out of place and confused, and then Meta Knight kills him. Good stuff, guys. This is super cool. So like this is the interplay I love with items. Marth takes the grenade hit, spot dodges the forward tilt, and then grabs Snake. So like takes it, dodges that, up B's him for a retaliation move. Snake tries to cover his landing with a grenade. He insta tosses it up where Snake awkwardly tries to air dodge it, and then dies. Like this is pretty cool. How the fight can exist up in the sky and like down, falling, and that's one of the cool things I like about it. Oh, and then we're in Smash 4. I don't need to go over more Smash 4. So enjoy that. So yeah, I like certain aspects about these different fighters for the individual unique qualities, but then design-wise, moving closer and closer to Smash 4. And now it's just a matter of like Smash 4 is already like my favorite and it's great. Like let's do things to clean up the design, help players not be so defensive, nerfing roles, which is what I've wanted for a long time. Like so much of that is just where I want the series to go, and it's great. So like, what does Smash 4 do better than Melee for me? Almost everything. And I just appreciate Melee for what it does, and that's just all there is to it. The real question is, what does Melee do that I really like over Smash 4? I would say like the speed of smashes. Smash 4's tilts and speeds are too slow. You can't really use them against shield, and it's kind of annoying. But in Melee, it looks like they got a much better balance of shield stun or pressure in that regard. Oh, and shield sliding and little details like that, which is like the shield being pushed back from smash attacks or being able to knock people off platforms. That's what Brawl had. Like little details here and there, but ultimately I mostly focus on the core Smash comparison. Who do I think the best Smash player is? Probably Mewtwo. He plays almost all of them competitively, or at least has all of them. And even though he mostly focuses on Melee, he has the most experience across the board. There's other people that got started in Brawl and went to Smash 4. A few people dabbled in Melee, then got into Brawl, and now we're in Smash 4. But, it's a long history. It's been 20 years. I got a lot of other favorite players, but I'll do shoutouts another time. Yeah, I'll do shoutouts another time. Is Melee too fast? What happens when we go faster? Just as a general rule, a lot of things that I've been observing. Oh, where's my pop-out chat, by the way? Did I even pop it out? Hey, Kirby the best. See, that's the kind of comment I want to see. A lot of things that I've been talking about for Smash 4 and be like, look, there's these obvious things. Why don't people do it? Look, this seems to be like very simply work effectively. Why don't people do it? Like, why are people complaining about this offensive character when they can counter it very simply if they just understood it? Why aren't people using frame data? Blah, blah. Well, that's because they're busy. I mean, their focus is drawn towards things that are more apparent to them and more obvious. And likewise, when the game is so fast and when it's kind of stressful to do reactive-based strategies, and you feel like the game's always constantly like you have to catch up to it, you're going to focus less on certain aspects of the game, including reaction strats. So the faster the game goes, the more that happens, right? The less you hold your ground, the more you have to sort of have in your head ahead of time and memorize in order to get out, in order to play on that level. And speed, really, contrary to what it seems, sort of unintuitive, the faster you make the game, the less skill you can exhibit. The more and more you have to memorize, and less you can stress your adaptation because of that. The less you can stress timing because of the way so many activities and interactions are crunched because the time's moving faster. Things like that. Like, you just can't do less. And you could play Lightning Melee if you want. It's not better than Melee. So, like, I'd rather have the speed be a lot more like Smash 4. We're speeding up for Smash Ultimate. We'll see what happens, but you definitely don't want to go too fast. You want the action to be readable. You want each individual hit to be appreciable. You want the drama of the risk-reward situations to be not just here and gone in a flash, but like play out in front of you. I'll talk about Smash Board. It's a little board game I made. I'll talk about that later. Could Smash translate 1 to 3D? I'm going to talk about that later. I really want to boot up Raw to show you arrow looping, so I'll wait. Yeah, and Smash is such a big game. The whole repetitive play and having to do so many rounds of things just to, get all the trophies or beat the game with every character. Like, it's just like with other open world games or Metroidvanias. The game starts to collapse under its own weight, and I can definitely see that. Doing too much of this stuff, it just kind of gets old. But then you're thinking, like, well, you're supposed to be playing this game for 4 years. Why are you trying to get all the stuff in 2 weeks? It's kind of how gamers are, but if you kind of think of it in the long tail, maybe it's really not that bad of an issue, but maybe there's a better solution all the way around. I'll talk about the minimal Smash when I talk about the Smash 3D and some esports stuff tomorrow when I talk about more players and characters. Neutral is always hard. Fighting games and competitive games are always played on the razor's edge of the advantages that they can get over their opponents who are also trying to use those advantages back on you. So neutral is always going to feel hard. When people say, like, I'm tired of run-up shield, I'm tired of people rolling, you're going to be tired of something, right? That's why it's a hard game. It's why it's a fighting game. It's why it's a strategy game. It's why neutral is hard. It's going to be, unless you have, like, that tier above your opponent, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to control yourself and control your own reactions and look actively and adapt. That's why it's always going to be hard. So half the time when I hear a comment about, the current meta not being to people's liking, it's always with a grain of salt because you're like, it's not supposed to be to your liking. You're supposed to find a way to beat it out of your opponents by being better. And definitely if you just kind of think of the long-term history, at any point you can imagine someone with 1 or 2 more years of experience in the game than you beating you down. Then you're like, well, then what's stopping me from getting there now? And that's the kind of positive attitude you need to take so you can push yourself through some of these rough spots. I wanted to do that today, but I did not do it tomorrow. Bayonetta breaks all the rules. We talked about that before, but it's kind of annoying. Her up special and all that. Just the way they chain into each other, and then the way they don't have really obvious and clear drawbacks, right? Like, she's supposed to take extra landing lag when she does too many combos over the stage with her specials, but then she can just grab the ledge and erase it. Why? Like, put her in a special fall or make it to where she can't grab the ledge or something. Like, you don't want to put weaknesses in the game and have the players so easily circumvent them. And her moves don't have enough interplay. Her up B, you can't attack through. You can't attack it. It should be different. And we'll see what happens with Smash Ultimate. Bayonetta's annoying. Cool. 59 completed items. We're going to wrap up the rest tomorrow. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the final part of our 20 Years of Smash series. tomorrow.